The Beach FM Business Lunch Show, brought to you by PlaceMakers Kapiti Horowhenua. Together we're building New Zealand.
Welcome back to the Business Lunch Show on Beach FM 106.3, and let's talk probably the most affected industry in this whole thing called COVID-19. Let's talk to your travels, Tanya Roddam. G'day, Tanya.
Hi, Damian.
How are you doing at this time, my friend?
We're okay. We're getting through it. The team are remaining positive, but you're quite right. Very badly affected, the whole industry, and will be for some time to come.
Yeah, different. We've had different stages of everything, from ranging from being able to go to your dentist easier to being able to go and get a latte easier. So until all those borders open, things are going to be different for you guys for quite some time.
They are, Damian, although I have to say the team have been working non-stop since COVID started, because they've been dealing with all of the refunds and cancellations for the clients. So actually we've been working flat out, but for no income, of course. But it's important. We need to do that. And there's something around about $2 billion worth of travel bookings that are overseas that the industry in New Zealand is trying to recall for its clients. So it's a worthwhile effort, very difficult. Or when I say very difficult circumstances, but we're working through it, and our clients are being extremely patient and supportive as well.
Yeah. Hopefully we can start working proactive instead of reactive sooner than later. Firstly, what we like to do on the show, Tanya, is to get to know the people that we're talking to. So how long has your travel been around? How long have you been in the industry yourself?
I've been in the industry since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. I pretty much, it was the first thing I did out of school, and I have been swinging between aviation and the retail travel industry, between the two of them, backwards and forwards. I took over this business 3 years ago, so and have been the owner of it for 3 years. So that's me in a nutshell, really.
Well, a good travel agent needs to have seen some places, so I'm sure you've travelled a bit.
Yes, absolutely, and have lived overseas. In fact, the whole team has travelled. There isn't one continent that someone in the team hasn't been to. So we're very fortunate from that point of view, and widely travelled and differently travelled. So we have a big range of expertise in the team, which is excellent.
Well, it's excellent. Us Kiwis do like to travel, that's for sure. Hey, when you did take over your travel, had you had your own travel business beforehand?
No, not in the retail travel side of the business.
Right. So what were some of those, you knew the world, you knew parts of the world or continents, and you knew travel as in your commercial and aviation, retail and aviation. But what were those early learnings that you had of taking over your own business?
Well, what I wanted to do, the whole reason I took over the business was because I struggled with getting the type of travel support that I was looking for when as a client. And so I decided, as this old saying goes, if you can't beat them, if you can't, what is it? Can't beat them, join them, or whatever it is.
Absolutely.
So I decided that we could do better, and that's the whole reason that I did it. So from my point of view, it's all about customer service. 100% is about customer service.
Well, yeah, that leads me on to my next question. What's your point of difference? Why you guys? Because there's a number.
Yep, there is definitely a number out there. Probably less so now than there was, but there still is. And we just focus on customer service. That's it for us. It has to be the number one priority all of the time, listening to the customer, finding out what it is that they actually are looking for, not just selling something that is on the shelf. We're an independent agency. We run through a network called Global Travel Network, which means we have access to pretty much everything that most other agencies have. However, it does mean that we can be more flexible and look at additional options for our clients as well. So it's really important for us to build relationships and have a long-term relationship with our clients. We don't operate on the come in, sell you something, never see you again.
Excellent. The follow-up. How was it? Where's the photos?
Yeah, exactly. Come and have a cup of tea and tell us about the whole trip afterwards. Exactly. That's exactly what we do.
Brilliant. So it's not just a flight. It is you do put tour packages, the right places to go, the things to see.
Yes, absolutely we do. And that is what we're focusing on at the moment, Damian, because we don't have flights to sell apart from domestic flights. Apart from people we do have some clients coming in booking for next year, in the knowledge that once things do open, there's going to be a huge scramble to get places and also to get into things. So they're booking early. Some of the suppliers have excellent COVID policies now, which does protect them. So even if they book, they're protected with their bookings. But going back to that, so yes, we do, and we have a bigger domestic, I suppose, product range now as well. And we personally have been working with a lot of the suppliers, and we have independent travel options. Plus, we have a lot of tour options available, and we have some from Kapiti as well that we've been working with different suppliers on. So we have a big range for people to consider now.
Brilliant. Hey, one of the questions that I've asked many of the businesses over the last 8 weeks is, I know you dived into the reactive, as in getting people all fixed up for their travels that they had planned, but how have you adapted during this time? How have you thought differently, maybe re-education of, looking up the atlas or whatever, but how has this time been for you?
Well, it's reintroduced us to our own backyard.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely it has. And we always did sell domestic travel, and we had a small base of domestic travellers who booked through us. However, it's been an excellent exercise for the team to actually become familiar with New Zealand products again. From our own personal point of view, we've put our tours side of the business, as in our international tour side of the business, in hibernation at the moment because obviously we can't travel. And we've had to defer 2 or 3 of our tours that were already fully booked and ready to go. In fact, one was ready to depart about 4 days after the borders closed. So they've been deferred till next year, but what it has allowed us to do is become very familiar with those tour products that are available within New Zealand. There's some excellent operators, and we have tours available, like I said, from Kapiti now and Horowhenua. So that was a pivot for us. We had to quickly pivot and have a look and see what we could provide out there for our clients, some who don't want to travel until there's a vaccine, and others who are just unable to travel at the moment overseas for various reasons. So it was good to get updated on our local domestic market. Actually, it was a very good exercise, and it's been great for the team.
I'm sure that pretty much leads on to and answers my next question, but where to from here for us? We don't have a crystal ball. We don't know when the rest of the world's going to catch up to good old New Zealand. So what do we do next in regards to our travel in New Zealand? Do we think more differently? Do we explore the backyard more and more?
Well, I think in the short term anyway, that's what people are going to have to consider. I know there's a lot of noise in the media, or from a few of the politicians, about the Trans-Tasman bubble, and that may happen tomorrow, but it's very unlikely to happen until they're absolutely satisfied that it won't bring COVID back into the country, or in the short term anyway, or if it brings it back, it can't be, that it can be controlled. So it would be interesting to see the Pacific opened. I know there was a bit of talk about that this morning in the media, because they don't have COVID, and
Exactly.
a lot of people would jump at the chance just to go for a Pacific holiday at the moment. Unfortunately for New Zealand, we're now in winter. We're working towards the cold months. Europe, of course, are working towards the warm months, and they still are suffering big time from it. So I guess it's a crystal ball. It's a crystal ball. We can't answer the question. We just don't know.
Yeah. Well, I know for me, I had a massive trip to America in my head planned for October. I don't think that's going to happen anymore. So I'll just have to think domestically as well and explore my backyard, and that's all good because we come from a beautiful country. Lastly, Tanya, where can the people find you and how can they get in touch?
Okay, so we're at 17 McLean Street, Paraparaumu Beach, which is next to Valentine's. And you can get in touch by popping in and seeing us, or on 04-297-1392, or our website, which is yourtravel.co.nz.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me. You and I are going to catch up once a month. So this is the first of many. Go well, my friend. Look after yourself over the next few weeks. And all the best.
Thanks very much, Damian.